All right, welcome to the lunchtime video. Never dull moment. I've been skipping the last uh, after work videos. Um, Not a winning strategy, that's for sure. Definitely getting pretty sick of studying for this exam, especially since there's other things I can study that will be much more beneficial to me. So last video we were learning about seamless MPLS. I went through a whole video series on that. So where we stopped, I was doing the verification steps, but I think I'm just gonna have to move on. There's just too much to do, too little time. I'm coming across the 1 month mark, so I really can't spend too much time on any one topic. So let's take a look at what we got here. So we got MPLS, and you can see I am making pretty good progress. Oops, if it will allow me to actually, there we go. So the first one I started was device infrastructure, and then I first modified it. So May 21st. So oops, yeah, that's not so good because that's like so May 24th, let's just say that's like 2 months I've been working on this so far. So yeah, that's not so good because in 2 months I haven't even gotten halfway through. So I don't have another 2 months, I just have a month. So it looks like where my studying will end will be sometime either in the middle of VPNs or in the middle of multicast. That's not so bad because I do have real world experience with COS that I think is pretty solid. And then multicast, in my experience, hasn't been a huge part of, well, multicast I actually did pretty well at during my, oh, yeah, I went into multicast and I already did some topics from it already, so that's good news. And then I have, so that's good news. And not only that, some of these other labs have covered multicast a little bit. So I did configure SSM, I did configure PIM. So I'm just gonna keep moving, not get too stuck on any one thing. In fact, I am gonna mark this as done, even though there might still be more to do. I guess I'm curious enough to take a look just to see what there might be left. Yeah, so let's see what there might be left in the verification steps. Yeah, I'm not sure I even got through all of these. Let's verify. Yeah, let's just do these verification steps and then move on. So it's going to be, I think the reason I didn't, well, let's see here. So yeah, let's just do some verification steps. Um, okay, and then whether right or wrong, whether they work or not, we'll move on. So this is going to be, we're going to do one more video on this topic before we move on, unfortunately. It's really not a good way of doing things, definitely spending too much time on this topic, but it does seem like a pretty advanced topic, so it could be worth some extra time. All right, so let's do one more video on seamless MPLS. And in this video, we will verify our configuration that we added before. And if there's any issues, anything at all, we're just going to ignore them and move on. The purpose is just to get familiar with some of these commands and get them under our fingers. Okay, so they want me to do a show route summary on all of them. You know what? I just might. So let's open them all up. And these we won't need. These are the extras. Okay, so yep, let's just go and do show route summary on all of them. I've got an hour since I've decided to do one more video on this topic. I'm gonna go ahead and take the full hour. And hopefully I can bring myself to do an after work video. That would just be a win-win because then I'll be able to get done with 2 topics today. Yeah, so much for my 1 topic a day rule. I was hoping that would actually be very doable to just devote two hours at lunchtime and an after work video to 1 topic. Oops, and I've got some tea on the stove that is now whistling, so I will take it off and be right back. All right, I'm back. So let's keep focused on this and maybe take a little bit of a look at the output. I don't see anything. So one thing I would like to comment is we got all our tables here. That's going to be important to take note of anytime you look at the show route output on a Juniper. You got to know which table is relevant to look at. So yeah, I kind of like this output because it shows, I think, a little bit clearer of a picture as to what each of your tables mean, because you can see, otherwise I would have just had to memorize that the inet.3 table is meant for labels, but here I can see very clearly it has LDP, so I don't need to kind of take a guess at what sort of traffic might be in each table. I can get a clear listing of that from here, and I don't need to kind of dig through a haystack with my eyes if I use this command. Oops. Okay, so let's continue on and look at the next command. And it looks like we've got an interesting new table on here. It's the L2 circuit table. So this should be on another one. Let's take a look at our topology quick. So this is R0. So I think there's going to be another one on R3. Yep, but all the rest of them won't have that table. Oops, I did some workouts and my sometimes my muscles shake if they've been taxed, and my whole left arm is shaking a lot. All right, so let's see here. I'm actually gonna, I think I'm gonna pause it and maybe do some like jumping jacks or something, because I think it's just some extra pent up energy. Oh, I feel a little bit better, and that only took me like a few seconds. So, yep, we were checking the other ones to see if there's a L2 circuit. Nope, it's just unique to router 0 and router 3. So let's continue on with our verification steps. Oh, kind of got more winded than I thought I was. Okay, so let's look at show. Interst is the next one. Okay, and then let's do the ping rapid. Perfect. So show Interst again. We can skip this one because I don't remember which one it was. Just want to make sure all the pings are going good. Perfect. And if anyone's wondering what this rapid means, if I take it out, I get a different format. So in Cisco routers, in Linux, or in Cisco routers, what you'll see is by default, you'll see the rapid, and then you'll see these exclamation points. But on Juniper routers, since they're off of FreeBSD Linux, by default, you're going to get what you would see in Linux. So you get a continuous pings that would only stop once you manually stop them. And they're going to show you they're going to show you statistics per ping. They'll show you the delay, they'll show you the time to live, sequence number, and the size of the ping. By default on Cisco devices, you're just going to see an average of all of that for the most part, and then you won't get the extra. Yeah, there's some you won't. Yeah, you'll see either a total. So this is what you would see on Cisco. If you're more familiar with that output, you like it better, you just add this rapid keyword at the end. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Okay, so they might want me to do this for every single one. I'm going to skip all of the show int commands and just do the pings. And then to be honest, if the pings don't go through, I probably won't even troubleshoot it. I might look at it a little bit, but I'm definitely not going to spend another video on this. It is a complicated subject, probably one of the more complicated ones I've done. So I think it does justify some extra time. But unfortunately, I do not have extra time to give. I am out of time. In fact, I'm planning to schedule and pay for this exam probably in let's see here, in like 2 weeks from now. And I'm planning to wear one of my old socks. Now the good news is, yes, these are socks that I will wear for my face mask when I take the test. But the good news is that they are socks I never wore. I did wash them, but the idea was I wanted to get into jogging, so I bought special low-cut jogging socks, and I ended up both not jogging consistently and not really liking the low-cut. It was kind of the perfect storm to just have a bunch of extra socks laying around unused. But luckily that turned out in my favor because it's pretty easy to make a law satisfying face mask out of old socks or new socks. I do intend to buy a face mask eventually, but so far I have not needed to wear one for extended periods of time. Yep, so all the pings are going through. Oops, so it looks like we've got an issue with the IPv6 pings, but as I said, I'm really not going to give that a lot of time, if any, because we just got to keep going. Ooh, Oh, and I understand why we have that because so here we've got the CFFE. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. This is not EUI 64. This is a link local address. Um, if it was EUI 64, it would have a F here instead of an E. But the link local addresses are generated just like the EUI 64 addresses are generated. And I don't mean that I don't, the word just like is a little bit deceiving because I don't mean that it uses the MAC address, but what I do mean is that it won't match what the lab is using with what I'm using because they are generated using a process that makes it unique. And I believe link local addresses are randomly generated. This is probably good for me to know. So I'm going to do Google search. I'm going to do IPv6 link local. Yeah, and let's take a look at how they are generated. So a link local address is an IPv6 address that can be automatically configured on any interface using the link local prefix. So this I know. Yep, and we can see the link local. And the interface identifier in the modified EUI-65 format. Link local addresses are not necessarily bound to the MAC address. Okay, so never mind, it actually is going to be the same as EUI-64, but I thought EUI-64 used all Fs instead of FFFE. So, oh, no, I was just wrong. EUI-64 does use FFFE. Wow, okay. Okay, so it's the same as EUI-64, so this is going to be wait, but I thought that a MAC address was only, what? Oh, okay, yeah. So there's three of these. Each of these is an octet. So a MAC address has 6 octets. So yep, this definitely makes sense. Oh, this only has 5 octets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe it starts with zeros. Well, one easy way I can do a show int. So let's start 0C63. And then of course remember that the 7th bit is flipped. So yep, it does have oh yeah, so I think it does start. It starts with the 0, 0. Yeah. Okay. So it does have. You can see it goes boom, boom. So it start. There would be 0, 0 there. All right, but I can't spend too much time on that. Let's keep going with the verification steps. Yeah, I'm really out of time. I'm really worried about failing this, but pass or fail, it's going to be really good news because I'll be able to move on to things that I think will be more relevant for my career, and that hopefully anyone watching this channel might be more interested in, because it won't be so specific to a particular vendor and a particular subject matter. It'll be more devoted to DevOps and automated networking, which is kind of what I'm more interested in anyway. and it won't be so heavily focused on service provider. In fact, the next thing I'll probably do is get my JNCIE-SP DevOps, just for kind of proof that I have kind of the extra sprinkles on the cupcake to go alongside my real world experience. Okay, and you can see they have you do this command here first so that you know which one you've got to plug in there. So I could certainly do that, but I just need to get moving. It's not worth it. I'll probably do it for the last one, just for proof that I do have IPv6 up and working on here. It's just that they are using custom link local addresses based on the resolution of EUI-64, and that's going to be different for me than it is for them. Okay, but we can see these external subnets, they've got hooked up to something. I don't have that hooked up to anything, so these aren't going to work. Ah, this one works. Oh, well, let's see if it works on. Oops, and I'm getting like super hungry right now. I don't know why. I ate fairly recently. All right, let's just move on. I don't think it's worth. Oh, and actually, I'm done anyways. I just have a few more, but I'm going to skip those. Just not that super necessary. Okay, so let's go to the next one. It's going to be show OSPF interface. Okay. Okay, and then show OSPF neighbor. Right, everything's full. We've got 4 neighbors, perfect. Show route protocol, OSPF, pipe match. Okay, so they want you to do the same commands on router 2. It looks like they want to be done on all routers in the topology. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's just too much for too little. So we're going to move on to router 4. And this will be good because this is just as good enough proof as a ping. If you got your routing table, your neighbors up and stuff, especially if you got ARP information and all that, you don't even need to ping. It's just a waste of time because it's going to work. Okay, so now they want these 2 LDP verification commands to go show LDP interface and show LDP neighbor. It looks like everything is good to go on that. Let's do them one more time with a cleaner output just to get used to it. So yep, everything looks good. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one's going to be similar, but it's going to be for MPLS. Oops, so, okay, but yep, no administrative group, looks perfect. Okay, so they might ask me to do a administrative group, but I can do a help apropos, pipe match, help topic, pipe match, admin. So, yep, and then I get help topic MPLS admin groups, and boom. So I've got everything showing me how to set it up, a little explanation of it. Yeah, really easy. That's going to be my lifeline during the exam, and that's why I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about taking it. I won't need to do, and I think I won't even need to, be honest, transfer this over to a Notepad++, because I can just do the same thing I would have done in Notepad++. I would have done like a dash. Well, I don't know. I might still want to do that. It's just whatever I'm feeling on exam day. I'm sure I'll figure out pretty darn quick on exam day what is the best method. Oops, so we're out of lines. Hopefully the connections are good. Oh, so we've got our virtual circuits down. I have had problems with virtual circuits on here before, so oops, and I'm not sure which interface. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but unfortunately don't have time to dig into it deeply. The purpose of this is just to see the commands, get used to what they do, get used to the output, because I'll certainly need to know them for the exam. So in the context of seamless MPLS, it's just going to be really important to know what commands are associated with that, which is exactly what I'm doing here. I guarantee you on the exam, I'm going to see what I'm seeing now, and I will cry because I can't figure it out. Because I'll see it and I'll be like, oh no, it's the thing that I see in the lab all the time, but just can't figure it out. And I'll show you what it is. Show L2 circuit connections. Yeah, this OL, I see this constantly in the lab, no alkaline label, and I just don't know what the issue is. So if I see that on the test, I will be very, very intimidated. Okay, so show subscribers is the command to see DHCP output. So I'm going to type that one out so it's under my fingers, because I did not know of that command before. And I'm going to do a question mark. Oh, so nothing too useful in the question mark. This is the command I'm more familiar with when it comes to DHCP. Okay, so of course our DHCP client isn't handing out anything. We don't have it hooked up to any hosts or anything like that. Okay, so I'm sure the interface is going to be a little bit different. Just run this command anyway. Yeah, and we get no output because the interface is different. So this looks like the same thing. So I'll skip this. I'm not sure why it's listed twice. Oh, I think it's IPv6 maybe? No, it's just listed twice for some reason. Oh, I see. So this is the command to verify PPPoE. So this shows subscribers. I thought it was for DHCP. But yep, of course, we don't have PPPoE connections. I'm not even sure if I'm able to set those up. But we'll just take a look at these anyway. Maybe there is a PPPoE on the exam. Well, I actually, now that I think of it, I don't think it's on the curriculum, so I don't think there's a good likelihood of that. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is stop it. Well, let's try this. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so we've got a similar situation here. So let's see if there's, yeah, verify, no. Okay, so we gotta verify that, perfect. And then hopefully hopefully there'll be some sort of explanation about bringing that up, because that's the one thing that's really missing. Okay, so here's the problem. The MPLS L2 circuit pseudo wires are not being established. We do have that problem. So if I go to host BN, oh, is that the problem I need? Let's try this command. And I'm not sure what they mean by host BNG. I'm not sure why they're using different host names, but I think they're talking about this. See if a ping goes through. Yep, so we've got pings going through. Missed dropping a few. Yep, this is definitely the same device. It's got the same neighbors, it looks like. And yeah, everything looks like it's good. So I don't know why they're fine, but I'm not. But that would be really nice. I would be really happy that I decided to do another video if it turns out that I am able to resolve an OL reason for a pseudo wire not being established. That's been my Moby Dick. That's my new Moby Dick whale, where I'm gonna sink my boat and not be able to let it go. Yeah, so my requested connection is down. This is the problem. They don't seem to be having this problem. So let's go all the way down here. So, yep, you can see that theirs is out. They say consult the codes. I did, I consulted it. It's no outgoing label. So hopefully they will give me information about that. Nope, they just said to consult the codes, but they don't tell me what the codes mean. So I've consulted the codes, but I haven't been able to use the information provided by the codes to make some sort of correction. So I think what I'm going to do is call this done for now. So it's 5 videos, it's not too bad. So, yep, so we're going to end it at 5 videos. We're going to come over here and change this to done. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think if I had planned for the correct test, now, one thing to be perfectly clear, when I first started studying for this, it was 960 only. So they did not change it or publish the new curriculum until after I had already began my study. But I really can't fault myself for not spending enough time on 960 because I switched over as soon as I was able. All right, so I'm going to mark this done. Next video will be LDP tunneling. But for the remaining 20 minutes, and I've got a meeting at 1 again, so I can't go late, so it'll be more like 17 minutes or so. I'm going to try to trouble. I'm going to spill my coffee all over. Well, good thing I didn't do that. So I'm going to fail at trying to resolve this issue, hopefully in the same way I failed at spilling my coffee. Okay. So let's try to figure this out. First of all, let's do a show int ps 0.0. Oops. Okay, so why is this not working? So here's the neighbor. So let's do a tracer out to the neighbor. Okay, so the neighbor is directly connected to it. So it's either gonna be any of these. I have a feeling it's R4. Let's check R4 for it. Okay, it's not R4, I think. So let's check R1 and R2. Aha, so it's R1. So let's get rid of the distractions here. Okay, and then let's try to figure out why this neighbor between R0 and R1 does not come up. Now, from real world experience, I do remember in the Junipers we used, there was an issue where if you did not have transit routers in the LSP, it would not come up unless you added a special command to make it so that it could come up without any transit routers. I don't remember what that command is. And then, of course, the version we were using in the real world is going to be quite a bit different from the version I'm using here in my lab. But that is something to keep in mind, and hopefully, and maybe as I'm question marking things out, keep an eye out for that. Okay. Oh, so this is really interesting on this side. And let's take a look. Uh, oh, okay. So I think we can narrow it. Okay, so this is neighbor 101 dot 0.0.1. Oh, so this is interesting. So we don't have. So maybe I got the addressing wrong. Let's do a show route 101.0. Okay, so it's on LO000, or sorry, 0.0. Okay, so we've got, yep, the address here, primary preferred, family MPLS looks good. Okay, and the upper we've got it added to MPLS, perfect. OSPF and LDP, excellent. So let's take a look at this side. Okay, so I was actually confused. I was thinking that it would be .2 within 101, but they are going to be different subnets. Okay, so I can ping them, but I can't do an MPLS ping. Okay, well, let's see here. All right, let's try this command here on the other one, see if there's any differences. Ah, so there's quite a few differences here. But it looks like some of the differences, like OSPF3, can be ignored. And then, of course, PPPoE, that doesn't matter, that can be ignored. I don't know what this prof-0 is. So it looks like these are the only important things. Now, one thing I am wondering, yeah, if I see OL on the exam, I'm seriously gonna like just get up and leave or something. It's like I failed. I don't know how to handle state OL. I failed. But the one we're interested in is definitely this one. So this is in state LD. Local site signaled down. So it looks like these interfaces might be down. Yes, physical link is down. Okay, well, let's try bringing the link up and see what that does. So it's going to be router 1, and then so let's just take like a hub and then plug it into router 4 just so that router 4 comes up, or not router 4, interface 4 comes up. Oops, and I don't see where my hub is. So I think I'm gonna maybe just wait a bit. No, I think I'm going to close it and reopen it. That's the best way for something hidden to show up. Oh my God. This is intense. But if I can finally get it to a state where it was OL, but it's no longer OL, that will really boost my confidence. Okay, so the port is now up. Let's see how that changed the connections. Aha! So I did it. I changed it from OL to up, and I did it by changing that port status. Okay, so I'm feeling a lot better about this test now, and I think I'm really glad I did another video because I was able to fix this issue. Well, I might even be able to stop it early, to be honest, because this is the major thing I wanted to do. Luckily, I got an easier one. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop it a few minutes early because this was my main goal of these last 17 or so minutes, and I got this working. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.